lot of misinformation flying around about the student visa that Tony Burke mentioned yesterday. Can you confirm the country of origin, whether it's India or Pakistan, and also how long were they in the Philippines, and was that monitored by Filipino intelligence agents?
They are all part of the investigation, so I can't go into that detail, and it wouldn't be appropriate to undermine the investigation by going into it.
Just a question on National Cabinet yesterday. We've just spoken a story in the Australian newspaper in relation to that meeting. It says state leaders were forced to push you on solutions to anti-Semitism, that you didn't offer any yourself, but a draft document that was presented to state premiers contained one paragraph about the issue of anti-Semitism, and this was later changed to add a second paragraph that included existing policies that you're already working on. Why are you not announcing a suite of anti-Semitism measures right now instead of talking about gun control?
That's not true. The report is not accurate. The meeting yesterday had front and centre a commitment. Prime Minister today convened a meeting in National Cabinet following the evil anti-Semitic terrorist attack directed at members of the Jewish community celebrating Hanukkah at Sydney's Bondi Beach. No. Well, that is not accurate. It's just not right.
In that meeting, did you specifically raise Julian Stephen's plan to combat anti-Semitism? Was that referenced?
What we did was we referenced the ongoing work, including the National Hate Crimes and Incident Database, the enhancing. That is what it is. We have taken the report from the anti-Semitism envoy, and what we are doing is busy implementing it. And we talked about that yesterday. We went through the full range of measures which we are doing. I talked about it, including the hate speech, Nazi symbols, what we're doing on doxing, what we've done with the creation of the National Student Ombudsman, what we're doing with the education program on Together for Humanity in schools, as well as security, migration issues and cultural issues as well.
What would an appropriate limit on gun numbers for ownership be, and when can we expect to see a national register?
Look, what we have done is to task, through National Cabinet, Premier Minns and Premier Cook, who's the incoming chair of the Council of Australian Federation, to work on that and come back to National Cabinet.
The Premier, how soon could New South Wales Parliament be recalled to legislate that? Have the coalition offered you bipartisan support for that? And also for Mr Albanese, are you disappointed?
Sorry, Paul. There's a lot of questions. So, look, I would say pre-Christmas. Logistically, we're working with our MPs to get back into Parliament as soon as possible. I haven't had a detailed discussion with the Leader of the Opposition, but in fairness to her, we don't have a draft bill. What I have been able to say is that she's been incredible working with us over the last 24, 48 hours. She's the member for that community, and I can't speak highly enough of the bipartisan way she's approached this incredible tragedy. So I don't want to speak for the coalition, but sorry, I don't want to speak for the coalition, but I think we'll be in a position to do this together. Yes.
Are you considering any kind of crackdown on the Albertina Data Centre, and do you believe that any sort of action on extremism and curbing anti-Semitism should take precedence over gun reform?
Well, we have to do all these things together. I mean, that's the truth. This is just a horrible, horrible crime. And I think taking one action would be nowhere near enough to combat the scale of the challenges that are in front of us. So yes, we do have to do gun reform. Sorry, folks. I know you want to get your questions out, but I think it's reasonable we get an answer out. Yes, we have to do gun control. It's incredibly important that we fight anti-Semitism. And one of the things about anti-Semitism is that it begins with hate speech, then it might be a chant at a rally, then it moves online, then it becomes graffiti on a Jewish building, then it's malicious damage, then arson, and then it escalates to the kind of horrific violence that we saw yesterday. We have to combat it across the board. Damien, maybe for the last one. Damien?
The Royal Commission, is there any suggestion you might call a Royal Commission on this, or in by the President or the Prime Minister of Israel to Australia?
Look, we're working through all of these issues. Our focus has been on the immediate response, the investigation, our National Cabinet meeting yesterday, our National Security Committee will meet again this afternoon. We'll continue to monitor all of these issues. And to Paul's question that was, I didn't get to.
I was going to ask if you were disappointed about a lack of bipartisanship on the federal level.
Look, this is not a time for politics. This is a time for national unity. And I think that, we have organised for the Leader of the Opposition to receive a briefing from the security agencies yesterday. I think that her statement on Sunday night was entirely appropriate, and we stand ready to work across the Parliament. I've had a number of discussions with the Leader of the Opposition on Sunday night. On Monday, I discussed with Allegra Spender as the local member for Wentworth as well. We particularly have had a range of discussions. But I think what Australians want is to come together. What terrorists seek to do is to create division, is to create conflict, is to undermine social cohesion. At that time, we're a better country than that, and we can't allow their objective to be successful. And that is why we must come together as a nation. I think overwhelmingly that is the feedback that I get across the board of what people want to see.
So Naveed Akbar reportedly links to Islamic State. Were connections he made as a follower of jihadist preacher Wisdom Hada. Is radical Islam a problem, and how can hate preaching still be allowed?
Well, what we know already is, as part of the investigation, is it goes to motive, and what is being investigated, as the Commissioner has said, is that it would appear that there is evidence that this was inspired by a terrorist organisation, by ISIS. Now, some of the evidence which is being procured, including the presence of Islamic State flags in the vehicle that has been seized, are a part of that. Radical perversion of Islam is absolutely a problem. It is something that has been identified globally as a problem as well. ISIS is created by an evil ideology that has been called out, not just by the Australian government, but globally as well.
Prime Minister Wisdom influence has been known to
Prime Minister Wisdom combat hate preaching, to crack down on hate preaching.